Hey everybody, Christian from Treasure Town here, and today we're going to be unboxing 40 Barber Half Dollars that are in this little bag. My local coin store said that they had some in. I had mentioned that I thought that they would be good just for me to go through and check out, make sure that there's no rare dates in there, and so I've purchased them. I paid a pretty good price. I'm not going to disclose exactly what it is, but I'm happy with how I bought these, no matter what, even if they're all, super cull. Well, if they're all super cull, then I'll lose a little bit, but I think it's a pretty good price that I got them for. So basically going to look for anything better. Some of the few varieties I'll be on the search for, and yeah, we'll just see what we get. Probably could use them in some future auctions, future grab bags, that sort of thing at the worst case, and add to my collection if there's some specifically nice examples. And let's just open this thing up and get right to it. We'll check out what's inside. I mean, I think one thing to look for that I'll be searching for, I'm going to try not to pour them out, but it looks like they're pretty worn, so it won't make a big difference, but it's like coins that are sort of have good eye appeal, maybe a little bit of Liberty or a little bit of E Pluribus Unum. I don't think, based off the coins I'm pulling out right now, it doesn't look like there's a ton of that in there. But, even like 4 or 5 nicer coins in the batch, I can probably offload the other ones sort of at cost and then have a good result out of it. So I'll go sort of right from the top here. And what we're looking for is the 1892 O, 1895 S, 1913, 1914, and 1915. And there are a few varieties here. 1899, I actually have a list next to me, but I think it's 1907, 09, and 11S have some better coins to look for. And then the other ones before that are like 1892 and 1893. But 1899, again, O, mint mark New Orleans, that's important to remember. There's lots of different mint marks that were used here, some from Denver, some from, pretty worn stuff here, to be honest. Some from San Francisco, no mint mark, of course, going to be Philadelphia, but 1903. Some of the other better dates, actually, I think 1903 plain is like a decent date. I don't think it's like super, super rare, but it's not a bad date. In the grand scheme of things, this one is really worn. Like, that's what I don't want to see as much of. 1901, 1901S can be a little bit better, but we don't have that mint mark on this one. Here, like, that has a little bit more eye appeal to it. I don't know, even though it's pretty worn, like, I feel like it looks like a decent coin. 1904, so not particularly rare. Let's see, 1899 again. We've gotten a few from that. 1899 O, New Orleans. And looks like another 1899 with no mint mark this time. Okay, it's not too bad. I see 2 1902s here, so nothing too crazy to search for, but this one's going to be O2S, and this one's just a O2 regular one. Let's see what else we've got here. Is that 2 omens? No, one very worn 1900. I was hoping again it would be like 1913, 1914, 1915, and then an omen again 1902. Oh, so we've gotten a lot from 1902, and it seems like we're hitting a swath of very worn coins. 1908 is solid. Let's see, that looks like an S mint mark. 1898, is that a better date? I think 1897 S is, 1898 O is solid, but the 1898 S, not great. Super, super worn down. Here's like a slightly better condition coin. You can see no, you can't see any lettering. 1907 O. So I was hoping it would be the S. We could check for the repunched mint mark there, if it did have an S mint mark. But I'll be on the lookout for any potential variety coins. 1903 has the O, but we already found a 1903 without the O, and that was pretty good. 1908 again, S, not bad. And you can always check for varieties on coins that don't have the published ones, but just from a time perspective, I try to keep it a little more simple. 1900, especially when I'm making a video, sometimes I go back and check afterwards. 1908 O, here's this coin. That's fun, but also looking for some 1890s. Ooh, 1909 S, and we'll look for that kind of looks like the, well, I'm not totally sure. I'm not the best at actually distinguishing it, but tell me what you guys think. I would say that somewhat looks like the inverted S mint mark, because You know, it looks like the S is flipped upside down. You know, if it looked like that, that looks pretty normal, where you have the strong tail on the bottom. Here, you know, you have the strong tail on top, the small one underneath, and maybe there's different mint mark styles, but you know, I've purchased a 1909 S inverted mint mark from West Coast Varieties, who's a friend of mine, but we might have just found another one. So that is awesome. I think we did. I'll match it with listings after this show, but I think we just had a nice find there, so I'll put that to the side. 1899 P, nothing there. Here's another 1909. We'll see if it's got the S mint mark. And yeah, I mean, I think that that's what the normal S mint mark looks like. Like, let's compare these two. The normal S mint, and I'll zoom back in again, you know, it's much stronger on the bottom tail, whereas here, the stronger tail is up top. And maybe, again, it's just different mint mark styles, and this, like, is not the one to look out for. But let's see how they match up. You know, I think that they match up a little bit more when I've got it flipped. So, you know, and maybe I'm making a fool of myself and misidentifying this, but also goes to show, like, hey, I'm not a perfect always with my variety knowledge, even though I study them a fair bit and try to know about them. Let's see. So 1907 D, no opportunity to look for the repunchment mark. There's an S mint from 1900, 1 year away from the 1901 S, which isn't super rare, but it's still a fun coin, I would say. 1901 plain. And let's see, this one's really beat up. 1907 O. And, ooh, that looks like 1894 to me. I don't think, you know, I think 1894 plain is maybe a little bit better, but not by much. That looks like 1894 plain. I'll have to do a little more research into the price. I think some sources have like it as a slightly tougher date, but in this condition, not very many people want to pay much for it. This would be a nicer one, and it does have the S mint mark, sort of as I would have expected, you know, to have in 1894 plain, because that one has solid eye appeal. 1902 P, 1905 S. I think that's the first time we saw 05S. We've gotten a lot of the 1907 S's, and I'm going to look on my source here to see the repunching would be to the north, and it doesn't look like this is the same, but it would sort of be a second mint mark punched directly to the north of that S mint mark. Often on the more worn ones, it's a little bit more challenging to decipher. 1907 D, 1900, very worn. That's okay. Here's a strong bump in the side of a 1907 O. Another nice S mint mark. Ooh, that kind of looks, if this is 1907, tell me what you think. Maybe it's just a damaged mint mark. But if it's 1907, I would have to wonder if there's a little bit. 1907. Tell me what you think. Because that sort of matches the photos that I have. I'll put it in from NGC Variety Plus. You know, they granted me permission to use it. But at the same time, I mean, maybe it's just sort of damaged, but it kind of looks like there's some peaks on either end of it. So, I'll have to look into that. It definitely could just be that it's been squished a bit. But from a distance, it certainly looks good. And that would be wonderful. Also, Variety Plus 001. It's not in the Cherry Picker's Guide, but NGC would certify it. So that would be sweet. 1908 O. I mean, like, that mint mark looks like it has something funny going on, but I think it's just like it's worn down a little bit funny. So, yeah, I think it's easy to over-diagnose potential varieties and get excited about coins that don't have much. But, again, just want to show, you know, I'm excited when I see something, and even, you know, I'll probably just do my research after. 1908, here's a S mint mark coin. 1907, you know, like that mint mark, you know, looks like it has a little funny stuff going on with it, but that's not a variety, you know, from what I can see. Let's compare the two. Just sort of does, I don't know. I would not be super surprised if we did not have a variety there. 1907. This one looks, I got excited for a second. This is just a well-polished 1909. Oh man, that's not a great looking coin. But 1909S, a good reminder of that's what the normal mint mark should look like. You know, more heavy on the bottom. And man, that's really distracting. All right, let's not have that in the screen. 1909S again. And like, you know, there's a little bit of tape residue on there. Try to get that off later. You know, here maybe the mint mark looks also, it does not look inverted to me, but it looks like it's a little top heavy. I feel like that one is more clearly, you know, it's not like that looks, that would look inverted. I feel like this still looks inverted. Again, hopefully I'm not exposing myself as being a bad diagnoser of varieties. 1909S, that also looks a little bit odd. I'll have to check later, but maybe not as obvious. I have a 1909S variety I can compare to later. 1897. If anything, I've made people aware of what to look for on this coin, on the Barber series. 1897 plain again, even if it's at my own expense, which would be a bummer. But again, you know, this is not a series that I know very well at all. Don't know what the commonly presenting mint marks really look like. 1906D, very worn again. 1908 here, S. So most of these coming in from the 1900s. This series went from 1892 to 1915, but people wanted more pretty coinage, and that's what they got. Changed them over to the Walking Liberty half dollar shortly thereafter, 1905S. And then our last coin is going to be S Mint 1909. Very normal. You know, that looks lopsided. That does not. So, like I said, there's lots of different takeaways with any video. In this one, it's you know, that I need to go research the 1909S inverted mint mark, and it may not be as obvious as that. And then I'm not the most optimistic on this 1907S repunched mint mark, but I think that merits, you know, a reason to go check if there's not. It just looks like there's a little bit in the top, but it also could be, you know, just like a scratch or a little bit of damage to sort of a thick blob of a mint mark. Really fun looking through these. You know, we got that in a few like medium dates, though they were pretty worn, I think, in most cases. You know, that one, 1894S, you know, I think that's has a solid premium. Maybe you could go for $15, $18. It's all about finding the right buyer too. So thanks for watching. I really enjoyed this hunt, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, comment your thoughts, and subscribe to Treasure Town, and get in touch with me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, check out my website, treasuretowncoins.com, for news and updates related to the channel and collectibles in general. Lastly, there's a link tree in the description with links to all of my other sites, as well as some affiliate links that can support the channel. But with that being said, have a great day, and I'll hope to see you on some of my videos in the future.